adore your name. We thank you for this day. We thank you for our lives and we thank you for the traveling mercies. Dear Lord, for you said in your word that wherever 2 or 3 people are gathered in your name, you are here with us. We humbly ask that you come and be with us. Come and take absolute control of whatever that is going to happen here, so that when all is said and done, we shall give you praise, honor, and adoration that you deserve. Again, do we commit the national, regional, and local executive presence here into your hands, the management of the University of Cape Coast into your hands, students, leaders, and students presence here also into your hands. We pray and ask that you grant us the strength to continue to facilitate for reconciliation and peace in our country, as well as helping us find ways to end injustice, prejudice, and also suffering in our country, so that we can live in harmony and peace to your glorification. Come take your glory and live right here with us your grace lessons. In Jesus' name I we pray with thanksgiving. Amen.
That's inspirational and very powerful. A round of applause for her once again. My name is Daniel Lati, and I'll be your moderator for the rest of the time. Ladies and gentlemen, I am told to do something. Forgive me if I'm unable to do it well. I know the bearers will respond in a very equal manner. I am told to say, hey! Is that all? Let me do it again. Maybe there's something else. Yay! That's not too much as I expected. Yay! That's more like it. A round of applause for yourselves. And indeed, once again, I welcome you all to the Grasag Presidential Policy Lecture with His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, former President of the Republic of Ghana and flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress. Permit me to invite Professor Johnson Nyanko Bwampong, or his rep, the Vice Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast. As the Professor Johnson Nyanko Bwampong. A round of applause, please.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yay! Okay. Thank you. And now I can see that there's a response. So you can all see that I'm not the Vice Chancellor, Professor Nyaku Bwampong. I'm representing him. And for your information, we've already met as management. We've met with our Honorable Professor Nana Jenu-Poku-Agyeman, and we've welcomed her officially to this premises. So I'm here representing the Vice Chancellor to let you know that the Vice Chancellor is committed to this program, and as such, he wasn't able to attend because he had other pressing engagements. So he's already sent that apology, and I believe that Prof already knows that because they were sitting together on tete-a-tete. But we all know that this engagement that the Grasag is engaging is for all the presidential candidates that are aspiring. And we know that all governments that have come into this country have really helped the University of Cape Coast. And we also know that our own professor, Professor Nana Jenu-Poku-Agyeman, when she was a Grasag dean, that is, was the dean for a graduate school, and also the vice chancellor for this university, the enormous work that she did. Thank you. She did a lot for this university. And so, if she now aspiring to be the first lady or second lady for this country, the University of Cape Coast supports her. And we believe that this platform will be a good platform as they launch the presidential bid. The University of Cape Coast, as I've said, is really appreciating the visit. And for me, personally standing here as Jojo Egan, Professor Jane Nana Upukwajiman is my mother. And I believe it's all of us is our mother. Prof, you are most welcome to your home. This is your home. You don't need to knock on the door to come in. You can always walk in at any time. Growing up as a lecturer here, I benefited a lot from Prof. And if I should tell you, the position I'm currently offering, she gave me the recommendation. So, Prof, you are most welcome, and we support you in your bid. Thank you.
Shall we do it again? Thank you very much, Jojo Hagan, for representing the Vice Chancellor. At this point, I would want to invite Mr. Kwabena Ejepon, the UCC Grasag President, to give us a short remark. Let me remind you that I'll be acknowledging the dignitaries very, very shortly.
Hey! Hey! Good evening, all of you. Her Excellency Professor Jane Nano Pukuajiman, Professor Jojo Egan, representing the Vice Chancellor, Provost, School of Agriculture and Natural Sciences, the entire management of the University of Cape Coast, the national and regional executives present, national and regional Grasag, national and local Grasag executives present, all presidents of sister institutions and their executives, students, welcome to this program this evening. It is with great pleasure and a deep sense of honor that I, Kwabena Ejepon, Grasag UCC President, would welcome all of you to this significant gathering. Grasag UCC is delighted to collaborate with Grasag National to host this important event here in the University of Competitive Choice. This event marks a pivotal moment for members of Grasag and the youth for our mother nation. We are especially honored to welcome our distinguished speaker, Her Excellency, as someone who has previously led this university and achieved great and remarkable and notable achievements. This underscores the importance of this program today, as this policy lecture in itself is to educate all of us as youth of this country. Today's program offers a unique opportunity for all of us here to listen to Her Excellency, her vision for the youth, the future of Ghana. It is a rare chance for the youth to directly interact with the leaders of such stature and experience, and to be inspired by her insight and commitment to our nation's progress. Grasag has always been committed to fostering dialogue, encouraging participation, and promoting the welfare of its members, as it is our mandate. This event is a testament to our ongoing efforts to bridge the gap between leadership and the young generation, ensuring that the voices are heard and their potential is recognized. I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to His Excellency, even though he's not here, and to Her Excellency for graciously accepting our invitation. Your willingness to engage with us today is not only a privilege, but also a motivation for all of us to strive for excellence and contribute positively to society. Let me also use this opportunity to acknowledge some prominent individuals who have left a mark on the land of UCC. Sam Jonah, who is the Chancellor of the University, who has carried out a very monumental artifact in this university, known as the Sam Jonah Library. Former council chair was elected under the new Democratic Congress, the National Democratic Congress era, Nana Bro Badler, who also established the Bro Badler SGS Grasag Research Grant with a total amount of $150,000 after he forfeited all his council allowances and helped us set up this fund. Her Excellency, this is in light to also plead to your high office that as we gather here today for this wonderful gathering, that we also would receive a mark that will be left by Her Excellency for all postgraduate students and the entire university. The Bro Badler Research Grant is going to be 10 years next year. And in light, we are soliciting for support to help expand this fund, as this fund is a way for helping postgraduate students in their research journey. We hope that this plea will be heard by your high office, and as we write letters to high office, Her Excellency, we'll be heeded too, and will help expand this fund, as this fund has helped over 300 postgraduate students since its establishment in 2015. We are hoping that as it's celebrating its 10th year, we'll be able to double these numbers as the fund grows bigger. I know I'm boring with a lot of talk, but it is important that I leave my mark before I go. On this note, I'd like to welcome all of you, Her Excellency and her team, regional executives, constituency and national executives, other members of sister universities, and the entire students' body to the Grasag Presidential Policy Lecture. I hope by the time we leave here, Her Excellency would have answered all questions and would have made prominent decisions that will shape the future of youth in Ghana. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.
Thank you very much, Kwabena Ejepon, UCC, Grasag President. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to introduce some of our special guests and dignitaries who have arrived for this program to you. The first on my list is the NDC Regional Vice Chairman, Mr. Eko Penstil. A round of applause for him for coming. Sir, let's see you. Thank you. Wonderful. Also here is a regional organizer, Mike Derry. Please, let's see you. Thank you very much. We also have the regional youth organizer, Lawyer Mohammed Naya. Please, let's see you. Thank you very much, sir, for coming. We also have the deputy regional youth organizer here, Kojo Jemfi. Sir, let's see you. Leaving the regional front, I have Mr. Kwame Alovi, member of the Education Committee of the NDC. Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you, sir, for coming. We also have Professor Moses Jojo Egan, Provost, College of Agriculture and Natural Sciences. Sir, thank you so much. Thank you. Also in our midst today is Gabriela Tete. She is the Central Region Communications Officer. Thank you. This one, you want to hear it. We have Nana Oye Bampo Ado. Oh, I did not see that. Honorable Bampo Ado is a former Minister for Gender, Children, and Social Protection. Thank you, ma'am, for coming. There is one man here I would have to introduce because a while ago I met him at the lecture and we actually had a good time. His name is Dr. Peter Boama Otokuno. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the NDC. That man can really talk for the NDC. He is the NDC Director, Interparty and Civil Society Relations, and a former Deputy General Secretary. A round of applause for him. We also have Mr. Osman Ayariga Esquire, Deputy National Youth Organizer, NDC. Please, let's see you. Thank you very much, sir. I'm amazed by that single vuvuzela. You're taking over the entire auditorium. Oh, I see. Then you would have to wait for the rest. We have Dr. Kwamina Menta Nyaku. Sir, I will not offend you. They say I should say AKA Raga. He is the MP for Cape Coast North. Thank you, sir, for coming. Indeed, you pull the masses. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I would want you to take your seat if you have not, because this part is very important to me. But before I do that, we have the National Grasag President, Mr. Emmanuel Owusu. Please, a round of applause for him. Okay. Under his auspices, we have this program being organized. Thank you, sir, for coming. I'll call you duly. But permit me, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce unto you our very special guest of honor and keynote speaker. Ladies and gentlemen. Wait. So, she is a distinguished Ghanaian academic and politician, renowned for her tenure as Minister for Education from February 2013 to January 2017. Holding the esteemed title of a full professor of literature, she notably became the first female vice chancellor of where? Hey, you are there. Mom, you are welcome home. She is currently the running mate for His Excellency John Please, let's acknowledge Professor Jane Nana Opakuajimai. Yes.
I rise for Ghana, offense of the land, for weather and seek your future. Development our God, from vision to vision, the NDC shall lead.
You know, that song, there is something about that song. Well, I don't have a party, but listening to that song, I am thinking, maybe. Please, once again, let's welcome Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajimai.
fighting unity.
Wow. Now, okay, let me tell you a story when I was coming on my way. I sat with 3 gentlemen, and one works with a GRA, one is an accountant, and I think one has his own business, a multimedia business. And I asked them, because they were coming for this program, so I asked them, why were you coming for the program? And the one at the GRA said, well, this year's election has to be issue-based, and so I'm coming to pick something here. Then the one who actually works with the multimedia said, oh, I couldn't vote in the 2 previous elections, so I am here to listen and make up my mind. And then hear what the last person said. He said, I want to know who is telling the truth and who is lying. Hey. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy to acknowledge a few more dignitaries. Honorable Richard Jan, MP, Gomwa West, please, a round of applause for him. Honorable, thank you for coming. MP, Gomwa West. Professor John Gachi is the Dean of the UCC Business School. Sir, thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Wonderful. In my days at TV3, I used to come to you for interview. Thank you, sir. We have CEO Onua Francis School Complex, Gomwa East here. Please, let's welcome. And then Eric Ofe is the Deputy RS. I am here to maybe Regional Secretary. Yes, thank you so much, Eric Ofe. Thank you. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I'll call on the Grasag National President, Emmanuel Owusu, to tell us why we are all here, and also to speak to us about some of the few things Grasag is doing. A round of applause to the gentleman who's put all this together.
I thought that clap was for me. You would have done a better one. Good afternoon to you all. Your Excellency, Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman. I call you Excellency because it's not too far from the reality. Representing the flag bearer, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the NDC's presidential candidate in the 2024 general elections. Representative of the Vice Chancellor, esteemed guests gathered here, Dr. Peter Boama Otukono, Director, Interparty CSO Relations of the NDC, NDC Regional, National and Regional Executive present here, members of Grasag, that have come across the country to be with us this afternoon. I do acknowledge you, friends of the media, all protocol duly observed. Good afternoon. It's an immense honor and privilege to address you as National President of the Graduate Students Association of Ghana. This gathering marks a significant milestone in our journey towards fostering a culture of dialogue, engagement, active participation in nation building. The Grasag Presidential Policy Lecture is a flagship initiative of the Grasag National Secretariat aimed at providing a platform for Ghana's presidential candidates in the 2024 general elections to engage with the youth of Ghana, and that's why we are here. Aren't we happy about that? And to facilitate a meaningful discussions on key policy issues affecting young people of this republic. Today's presidential lecture is profound as it serves a platform to engage directly with the nation builder represented by Professor J. Nana Opoku Ajiman, as he is affectionately called, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. as she, representing H.E. John Dramani Mahama, will be sharing her policy initiative for the youth of Ghana. Your Excellency, Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman, we're deeply honored to have you here today. Your distinguished leadership and dedication to the betterment of Ghana have left some indelible mark in the history of this republic. We can fondly remember your extensive work that you did as Minister of Education and as Vice Chancellor of this university. We do acknowledge the great work you did as Vice Chancellor and Minister of State for the republic. I thought you were going to give a good round of applause for that. Today, we are eager to hear your insights and vision for the future of Ghana, and particularly as it pertains to young people who represent the engine of our dear Republic, Ghana. As an association, our goal is to become a strategic development partner that collaborates with governments, political parties, CSO, and other stakeholders to implement policies to uplift the well-being of young people and to propel this nation. We believe nation building is not a responsibility of a single individual or organization. It's a collective effort that requires dedication and collaboration with all citizens. At Grasag, we are committed in playing our part in this noble endeavor. And so that's why we've organized this presidential policy dialogue. So that, as it were, contribute to nation building. You may want to appreciate Grasag National for doing this. In the last 30 years of this noble association, this is the first time we are doing something like this. We recognize that education, innovation, and entrepreneurship are key drivers for sustainable development. Therefore, we are focused on empowering our members with skills, knowledge, opportunities necessary to excel in these areas. We have demonstrated our commitment to nation building, to the nation building agenda, when we launched the Grasag Policy Research Index this year in February. What were we seeking to do? We're seeking to look into the political promises that are going to be put out by the political class to interrogate the narrative and, as it were, bring data to the conversation. And that led us to our first research work on the 24-hour economy that we did launch last month. Of course, the findings are there and they are well articulated. The media has taken it up. The Grasag community is particularly excited about the 24-hour economy as it directly addresses the pressing issues of youth unemployment and will propel the nation's progressive agenda. And so we thought that the 24-hour economy was a smart one, or it is a smart policy that the youth of Ghana would benefit from it. Your Excellency, Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman, in your next government, maybe you, Vice President of this Republic, we would like you to prioritize postgraduate education as a key driver in contributing to nation building. It's our wish that research finds space in informing policy formulation and implementation. We would like your government to set up a national research secretariat under the presidency that would work with academic institutions and state institutions to drive the agenda of shaping nation building through research. We cannot develop this republic without research. Before a policy is implemented, we must verify through data in order to be able to implement it very well. Your Excellency, the over 100,000 members of our members across the country, both in Ghana and in the diaspora, would want to see a restructuring and a retooling of the operational structure of the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat. We all have heard the issues that the Scholarship Secretariats have been bedeviled with. In your next administration, we want to see a retooling and probably, as it were, putting it in a way that would be beneficial to the masses, not just the Scholarship Secretariat, the GET Fund, to provide equitable opportunities for many of our young people. I look forward to a future where research is shaping the fortunes of state-owned enterprises, SOEs. I look forward to a time where we would have research and development officers in state-owned enterprises so that the decisions that they are taking is being backed by data and research. We should not have an SOE chief executives take decisions because of feelings, because of some, board decision, but it should be based on data. I look forward to that day. I look forward to a judiciary that's taking decisions based on data and research. I look forward to a legislature that is taking decisions based on data and research. And I hope that the executive arm would also look into that as well. Grasag is ready to partner with you alongside Your Excellency in the future that we see, leveraging on our collective strengths to build a nation that is inclusive, progressive, and resilient. We believe in your leadership and that of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. In concluding, let me extend my gratitude to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for accepting this invitation to speak with us, and of course, represented by our mommy, Professor Jane Ann Opoku-Agyemang. Mommy, we thank you so much for gracing this occasion. Let me seize the opportunity to also thank Dr. Pitabo Ama-Otukono for facilitating this invitation. Say we are grateful. We want to thank the UCC Grasag for partnering with us to organize this event. Colleagues, the Ghana we seek, the Ghana we want is in the hands of the youth. Let's seize this moment as we've gathered over here, and let's ask the right questions, and let's be part of this nation building process. For when we are part, we will see good results. Thank you. Have a good evening.
And thank you very much, Grasag National President, Mr. Emmanuel Owusu. Permit me to acknowledge a few more personalities who have arrived. Professor George Odro, former Pro-Vice, Chancellor of the UCC and Chair of the Education Committee, NDC. Please, let's see you. Also here is the TANE UCC President, Boniface Baba. And then, please, are you here? Let's see you. TANE UCC President, Boniface Baba, thank you. Also here is the uccsrc President, Vincent Kojo Siabi. Professor K.T. Odro George is also here, a former Pro-VC of UCC and also the Central Regional Director for Conflict Resolution. Permit me to introduce you to the parliamentary candidate for Asin South, Honorable Stephen Kofi Beidou. And then I would also like to acknowledge all the 10 UCC executives. You have helped in putting this together. A round of applause for yourselves. Let me also acknowledge the mother body, the Grasag National Executives. Thank you. Please, can we see you? Grasag National Executives, please, thank you. Thank you so much. Let me also acknowledge my colleagues from the media. We have here CTV, GTV, Adom TV, TVXYZ, we have TV3, we have Angel TV, Joy News, and GH1 TV. If you've not been acknowledged, please note that we respect your coming and we thank you for coming. At this juncture, I've been given only one task, and after this, the vuvuzela will blow. Okay, no, maybe not the blowing, because you didn't get that. We will hear the sound of the vuvuzela. I will invite here shortly Honorable Kwabena Minta Nyakun, the MP for Cape Coast North, to give us a short remark. Wait. To give us a short remark and introduce onto the podium, our special guest of honor and keynote speaker. Honorable Kwabena Minta Nyakun will be joining us shortly. But before he comes, I said before he comes, I know how you can do it. Let's give him a round of applause. Honorable Kwabena Minta Nyakun.
Good evening to everyone. First of all, let me apologize. Hey fellow, hey, hey. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to everyone. First, let me apologize for the terrible voice. We've been campaigning, so we've been talking all the time. I remember when I wanted to relocate to Ghana, one professor called me, Professor Kupoli, and said, Raga, you've been in UCC for a very long time. You've gone abroad. We want you to come back to the university and come and help us. So I said, okay, I'll think about it. Then I had another message saying that you don't have to think about it. You just have to come. And that was coming from Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman. She was the one that admitted me to the University of Cape Coast to become a lecturer. Through her effort and motivation, I've become a senior lecturer at the University of Cape Coast. Prof. Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman has been the head of the English faculty, and she was the only lady at the time. She became the dean of the Faculty of Arts. She became the dean of the graduate studies. And I remember at that time, she instituted a research, that is a graduate research fund. And I don't know what has become of it now. I think I just heard the name of Nana Brubadla Fund. I don't know whether they've changed the name or that is another fund. Then she became the former Minister of Education under the NDC government. And I remember that time, the university lecturers were always relying on what we call the book and research allowance. And Prof. Nana said, no, let's think about establishing a national research fund. And I remember I was listening to the radio, the kind of bombasting that they gave to her was just crazy. But at the end of the day, she was thinking more about the nation and not only at the education sector. I've had the opportunity to be with her, work with her for a bit, and I know the kind of lady she is. I just can't wait to see her to be the next Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. As I speak, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman is the first female Vice Chancellor in the whole Republic of Ghana. Not only UCC, the whole Republic of Ghana. She is the female Vice Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast and the only one in Ghana as such. Please, let's give her a hand of applause. It's not an easy feat. I want to also acknowledge that in as much as Prof. Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman is the running mate for His Excellency, the ex and next president of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman is also a member of my constituency. So I am her MP. I am her MP. Ladies and gentlemen, I just can't wait to listen to what she has to share with us. The youth is Ghana, Ghana is the youth. And the objectivity of our ability to decipher policies, to be able to make informed decisions come 2024 is what we are going to benefit if we do the right thing. Today, I went for a program, the Physician's Assistance Program, and we were asking, Raga, what will the next NDC government do for us? I just told them that, relax. The manifesto will soon be launched. But if you go to the 2020 manifesto, we're going to scale up physician assistance. We're going to build residential facilities for your health workers. We're going to make sure that we have a research fund for the surgical and then the wards, so that everyone will have access to funds to be able to enjoy healthcare delivery. But today, we are here to listen to Prof. Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman as she engages us with what the NDC party has for the youth of Ghana. On this note, I have the singular honor in welcoming Professor Nana
Jane Nana
Agyeman.
Opoku-Agyeman. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we welcome Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman? We need to acknowledge Casport Hall. Casport Hall.
Thank you all so much. Thank you all very much. And a good afternoon to all of you. Please consider yourselves individually introduced. I think we ran out of chairs.
We want to thank you, Casport Hall. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Just 5 minutes. Tradition, just 5 minutes.
Oh, no problem. Give them time.
Just 5 minutes.
Give them time. Okay, 10 minutes ago, share.
you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Casford. Grateful. We are indeed grateful. Please take your seats. Please take your seats. Please take your seat. Thank you very much. Wow. 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 Thank you. Wow. 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 Kindly take your seat. This. Wow. Electrifying. Full of youthful exuberance. Thank you so much, Casford Hall. Kindly take your seat. Thank you. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is electrifying indeed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Casford Hall. Thank you. A round of applause for Casford Hall.
Hey, Casfordians. So you have never changed. The same as I found and left you. And you know, it's interesting because when you admit them, none of them shows they can do this. But they enter that hall before matriculation and during matriculation. Then you see a different set of human beings. And those are Casfordians. But Casfordians also do well. They used to get very high grades. And I hope they are maintaining them. And that is why we should all applaud them. We should all applaud Casfordians. They keep an eye on the game. They also keep an eye on the study. And that is the way it should be. So after this dramatic opening, I just want again to greet all of you individually and to acknowledge you, but especially to acknowledge the 10 members. 10 UCC, where are you? You should clap for yourselves. You are doing an excellent job. Non-10 UCC members, please come and join. There's room for all of you. Come along. Come along, let's build the country we want. Let's build the Ghana we want together. There's space for everyone. And I also want to acknowledge the beloved students. I think I saw some high school students here. Are they here? Yes, I want to thank you for coming along and for coming to this presentation. I heard a few comments, before I go on to formally address you, I just wanted to pick an issue or two that my predecessors have raised. And they were all talking about funds for graduate studies. It's very important. And in my speech, or in the speech I'm going to read on behalf of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, you'll see the efforts we made towards reaching. It means that we still have the capacity and we can do the same. So let me also extend the apologies of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama for not being here with you today. He sends his apologies. As until yesterday, about 7 or 8 or so, we knew he was going to come. But until I got to this position myself, sometimes I couldn't understand why some of the last minute changes would occur. But now I do. So please accept the apology. And he's asked me to stand in for him. And I'm happy to accept the responsibility for many reasons. One of them is that it is about the youth. Any party that does not prioritize the youth has lost its way. it is about the youth. It is about education. When you care about the youth, you offer them quality education. The kind of education that will take them far. You tell them the truth. The kind of truth that you can stand on. You don't tell them lies for the sake of expediency, so that when the difficulties come, you abandon them midstream. We will tell you the truth, and we urge you to work with us. That's also part of the reason why I'm happy to be here. Of course, another reason is that I'm coming back home. This is UCC. I'm noticing the name. It is still the new lecture examination center. So it's still the new one. We all know the history. When we decided we will no longer have graduation outside in the heat of the sun, when parents have traveled long distances, and therefore we must build something for the parents to sit, for the students to sit, and we completed the auditorium of the School of Medical Sciences. So many more people could also sit there and have screens, because their children have done well. And we don't think parents should be sitting in the sun or sitting in the rain. And I'm happy that it is still new. So I urge, we need another one. It's all about showing respect. It's all about acknowledging effort. And I'm very happy to be here today, back at UCC, back where I've spent all my life, and back where so many things have happened. I want to commend UCC again for all the glories you are chalking. It doesn't surprise some of us. We knew that if we put the emphasis on research, so you see why I'm always passionate about research. If we put the emphasis on research, the university can fly. And I'm glad you are in flight. Keep flying, because there's so much more that you can do. Thank you all very, very much. They are also emphasizing research, and I'll come to that in the speech. But definitely, you are not making any policy statement without research. And data is information. It's not only the figures. It's about the qualitative, it's about the quantitative, and anything in between. Then you get a proper eyes view of what it is that you should modify, you should review, yes, not meaning cancel. You should make stronger, you should make better. And that is what we need to be doing as a country. Thank you very much. So on these few remarks, I would like to read the speech as provided by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. So having observed the protocols, so the I here is the I of His Excellency. Okay? I thank you for inviting me to participate in the Presidential Policy Series, lecture series of the Graduate Students Association of Ghana, Grasag. I find this platform very strategic and timely because it offers me the chance of interacting with and listening to a category of students who, by virtue of research skills, high-level knowledge, relevant to all aspects of our economy, and skills in critical thinking, are better placed in critiquing policies and offering instructive suggestions for policy making and policy reviews. I attach great importance to graduate education because graduate students are a great asset to national development. Indeed, as the Association of African Universities, AAU, articulated in its 2009 Abuja Declaration on Sustainable Development in Africa, university education is critical in addressing the continent's sustainability challenges. Later, in the year 2000, our own son of the land, the late Kofi Annan, had challenged Africa to make university education central to its development agenda. And I quote him, "The university must become a primary tool for Africa's development in the new century. Universities can help develop expertise, They can enhance the analysis of African problems, strengthen domestic situations, serve as a model environment for the practice of good governance, conflict resolution, and respect for human rights, and enable African academics to play an active part in the global community of scholars. End of quote. From the foregoing, it is very clear that university education is critical in developing the critical requisite knowledge and skills for coping with the challenges facing our country. The university's impact on national development is seen through its task of knowledge generation through research. Indeed, in the 21st century, we cannot talk about a university education without referring to research-based graduate studies. This is because graduate research findings, if applied to innovation, will impact greatly on policy formulation and policy implementation, thereby contribute to solving the socio-economic challenges facing our country. It is in this light that I place high premium on today's engagement, which offers me the opportunity to articulate my vision for the development of young people in our country within the context of education. I have no doubt, ladies and gentlemen, that the Graduate Students Association of Ghana plays a key role in promoting academic, professional, and socio-economic growth among graduate students on campuses of the various universities. Since membership of Grasag is made up of students who are largely pursuing research-based programs, I have no doubt that a priority need of the association relates to one key question, which is what policies can best provide adequate resources to support student research activities. This question is critical because it is through research activities that theses and dissertations, which are very crucial elements for both master's and doctoral students, are produced. As I earlier intimated, quality research findings documented in theses and dissertations, if disseminated, has the strength of contributing immensely towards policy making and developing the service and productive sectors of our economy. For the nation to maximize the benefits, For the nation to maximize the benefits of graduate research, therefore, it is important that an innovation index research culture is promoted in our universities. This can be possible if the universities, Grasag leading the way, and the government collaborate in providing requisite informational, mentoring, administrative, and resource support for students. The center for this support is resource, which has policy implications in terms of supporting universities and other tertiary institutions to expand facilities for research. It is against the important role by research in national development and the need to create a sustained resource base to support research in our universities that, as former president, I provided leadership through the Ministry of Education to initiate a bill in Parliament for the establishment of a national research fund. Largely, the bill sought to help researchers, including young lecturers especially, research fellows and graduate students too in our universities, to access adequate research funding opportunities to build their capacities in research grant proposal writing too. Unfortunately, the bill was received with partisan propaganda, and the rationale behind it twisted and misrepresented as a move to scrap the book and research fund. In fact, I remember some even went to town to say that we had scrapped it when we never did. Now you see where we all are. Now you see our life. Notwithstanding that, the NDC government, under my leadership, had not issued any policy statements on scrapping the book and research allowance. And indeed, by 2016, book and research allowances had been paid to beneficiaries. Even though this had been done, the NPP took advantage of the National Research Bill being introduced in an election year and championed a campaign against it. Ironically, when the NPP took over the leadership in 2017, they pursued the very bill they had demonized in 2016 and got it passed by Parliament as the National Research Fund Act. Nevertheless, the NDC is still committed to the National Research Fund and will ensure that it becomes operational when we are voted back to office. In addition to the National Research Fund, the NDC, motivated by its social democratic principles, introduced financial support schemes with the aim of reducing financial burden on students. It did so by extending the student loan scheme to cover students in all tertiary institutions and increase the amount. By 2016, the minimum loan amount had been increased from 650 to 1,000 and the maximum from 1,600 to 3,000. The NDC will continue to put in measures that will ensure that students are able to access the loan early enough before they commence their study. Also, we offered approximately 1,130 scholarships to students to pursue graduate studies unavailable in the country, such as specializations in health, medicine, and allied health specializations abroad. Let me emphasize that quality research among faculty and graduate students cannot be promoted to meet the policy needs of our country when universities lack adequate research or resources to support research initiatives. Hence, the NDC, while in government, commenced an initiative geared towards increasing the capacity of tertiary institutions across the country. The initiative led to the establishment of the University of Energy and Natural Resources in the Bono region and a new and permanent campus for the University of Health and Allied Sciences in the Volta region, and commenced arrangements for the establishment of UHA's School of Pharmacy in Keta. We also converted polytechnics to technical universities and caused Parliament to pass the University of Environment and Sustainable Development Act, which led to the establishment of a university in Somenya and a presidential charter granted to Central University to operate as a university. And in 2025, the NDC will continue with its facility expansion agenda by ensuring that satellite campuses in existing universities based on proximity and program relevance will gradually be established in the newly created regions. I hope we are paying attention to that. In teacher education, we passed the Colleges of Education Act to upgrade teacher training colleges to tertiary institutions and went on to abolish the quota system in the Colleges of Education to allow the colleges to admit to full capacity. By so doing, reduce the number of untrained teachers and be able to offer quality education to the very young people in our country. By 2016, when we left office, enrollment in the Colleges of Education had increased by 63.8%, thereby reducing the trained teacher deficit in our basic schools. Related to this, we reviewed operations of the Student Loan Trust Fund to allow teacher trainees to access the fund like their counterparts in the universities and other tertiary institutions. The trainee allowance was not abolished. Teacher trainees had the option to take the loans or the teacher trainee allowance, and as in 2016, many people understanding the implications of what they were doing, we had over 7,100 teacher trainees which has accessed the fund. Like the Research National Fund, however, NPP twisted and misrepresented the rationale for the introduction of the student loans for political advantage and promised to restore the teacher training allowance when voted into power. You and I know the history, and we know the practice. The restoration promise was hailed by many students on campuses of colleges of education. Though the NPP successfully restored the teacher training allowances, its implementation has been challenging. By 2022, for instance, the government had defaulted payment for about 7 months, with the Teacher Training Association of Ghana, TTAG, expressing deep concern about how the delayed payment was compounding the economic challenges facing trainees across the country. When Ghanaians give us the leadership mantle in 2024, and I hope and I pray you will, or you will not, we shall continue to provide teacher trainees options, and they will begin to feel, or they will continue to feel their own status as tertiary students and no longer glorified secondary school teachers or trainers. Ladies and gentlemen, the other issue I'm sure Grasag members will be interested in is the NDC's policy on the teacher licensing exam. In 2014, under my leadership, the Ministry of Education introduced a policy on teacher professional development and management, leading to the commencement of a process of teacher professionalism and licensing. This was based on the premise that it takes both content and practice to build a professional teacher and enhance teacher professionalism. Our model sought to provide a provisional license to all qualified graduates of colleges of education to practice, not as national service persons or national service allowance, but as provisional teachers on salaries. On assumption of office in 2017, again, the NPP introduced a paper and pencil mode of professional licensing, which requires all graduates of colleges of education to be subjected to a 6-hour written exam on grade level professional pedagogy for 2 hours, multiple subjects, that is content, and single subject specialization on another 2 hours, and general professional knowledge 2 hours. Based on this 6-hour exam, a teacher's level of professionalism is completely determined. While I agree that the Education Regulators Act mandates the National Teaching Council to conduct a licensure examination for the purposes of issuance of professional licenses to teachers, the NDC, of which I'm flag bearer, strongly posits that it does not take a 6-hour paper and pencil exam to ensure teacher professionalism. In this light, the NDC will initiate processes towards cancellation of the post-college teacher licensure exam. As a party, we find the current mode of licensure examination as an affront to the colleges of education. What is the sense in engaging very qualified tutors, paying them to develop and train teachers for our basic and secondary schools, get the teacher trainees to take initial standard exams, spend money to graduate, and award certificates to those who pass the initial standard exam, and then turn around to subject them to another paper and pencil exam? What we wanted to do was to turn the whole process into a quality assurance mechanism and not a sit-down exam. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to draw the attention of Grasag to the fact that it has great responsibility to its members. Therefore, they can and must be encouraged to explore ways through which they can enhance student academic support services, such as peer mentoring, entrepreneurial capacity building and strengthening, opportunities, empowering local branches of the association to establish functional writing and proofreading centers. These resources would assist graduate students in navigating academic challenges, improving their research skills, and enhancing their overall academic performance. In addition to these, Grasag must take an active role in promoting research and innovation. This is possible when Grasag sets up its own research support funds through which needy members of the association can be held. And this is beside the point, but I can assure Grasag, when they take this step, they'll get a lot of support from both internal and external sources. And I'm speaking from experience because when we were pushing the research bill, if we didn't get the pushback from academia, we have so many organizations, funders, Ghanaian, non-Ghanaian especially, who are willing to put it in. But they wanted the government to take the step. So academic facility, members here, the ball is in your court. I wish to reiterate that postgraduate students are great access to our nation. The nation can minimize the benefits associated with graduate and postgraduate education only when research activities carried by graduate students in country help to shape our policy. It is important for Grasag as an umbrella body for graduate students to ensure that theses and dissertations of their colleagues are not left on the shelf. The association should support graduates to communicate their research findings through policy briefs and other available means. On this note, I wish you a sustained presidential policy lectures series. Long live Grasag, long live tertiary education, long live Ghana. Thank you. And now I come to a few remarks. Others wanted to know a bit more about the 24-hour economy. And I thought I was coming to learn from you, because I know you have economists among you. But even if we are not economists, we live the reality of life. We know it's our children who are at home. We know it's our youth that don't have jobs. We know it's our economy in shock, actually in crisis. So what do you do? When your back is against the wall, what do? You don't just fall down and die. You look at the little energy left in you and you work with it. And this is what we are going to do. How many industries, for example, are on their feet even if they are wobbling? What do you do to raise them up? You give them support. You become intentional about their survival. You make sure that if they were employing 4 people, it is possible for them to employ 8 people. You make sure that if they are having 1 shift, you find out why it's 1 shift, why it cannot be 3 shifts. You sit down with them, and we have sat down, and I'm not surprised that many of the trade unions have come to embrace this and are willing to walk the talk with us. Yes, Eyezu, It is only a government that cares about the youth, that invests properly in the youth. And what do we mean by that? You invest in the education not for expediency. You invest in education to give them the kind of certificate they can walk out of the country and stay in the country with. You offer them the education that builds their confidence. You offer them the education that moves with the times. So when we're talking about the million coders, we were not just joking. You offer, why is it that somebody abroad can find a job in Ghana? How many of you have found jobs abroad? So what do you need? Without physically moving there. Many of them don't have to come here. And many of you, please stay. You don't have to go. There'll be opportunities for you. And we need all of you to collaborate with us. We need all of you to collaborate with us to build the Ghana that we all want. To build the Ghana, even if we go, we'll come back to and be happy that we are back home. Thank you very much.
At this point, I would want to say, please forgive me if I don't get it right. Hey! I hope I got it right. Thank you very much. The Professor Jane Nana Opoku Ajiman, thank you so much for this inspiring words. For those who want to make up their mind and vote on December 4, the reason you came here to this Grasag presidential policy, I believe you've got something. On 7th December, I believe you've got something. But more importantly, I would like to acknowledge Grasag National Secretariat. They put together this entire program. A round of applause for them. Also permit me to acknowledge St. Augustine's College students and teachers. Thank you so much for coming. Dr. Kojo Ojo, Dr. Ales Fifi Gate, Professor Samuel Agblati, Mr. Randolph Kesemeko, Dr. Jonathan Asante Ochiri, and Alhaji Professor M.B. Jidana. I believe I got it correct, but they are lecturers here at the UCC. Also, as the Cape Coast North Constituency executives, we acknowledge you. We also acknowledge the youth organizer, Godfred Onsu and Sunyameye, and also the operations team for the NDC Cape Coast North Constituency. Also is the Cape Coast South Constituency executives. We acknowledge you. At this juncture, let me take 3 questions, red, gold, and green, because I know you've got a lot to say. So the gentleman who is supposed to coordinate, select 3 people for me. Please raise up your hand if you have a question for Prof. Yes. Please raise up your hand. And then, where is my microphone? Hello, sir. Yes. Is it working? Good. So, give it to, please select 3 people for me. Yes. 3 people. Can they come in front? Can I have them here? Can I have them here? 3. Just 3. Please don't move forward. Be where you are. Don't move forward. Just 3. Please. 3. 5. Thank you. 5, 5, 5, 5. Do 5. All right. So we take you. Hello?
Yes, you have to
Listen, you mention your name. If you're a student, you let us know, and then you direct your question to the high table, okay? Great.
Good evening, everyone. All protocol duly observed. My name is Awini Anabatiodo Awentima. I'm a level 400 student reading law. My question is about and I'm the SRC Chief Justice. My question is about legal education in Ghana. A lot of governments have come and gone and made several promises to us. A couple of years ago, there was a demonstration about the Makola exams and all. My question is, what is the NDC government going to do for legal education in Ghana about the expansion of the Ghana School of Law in order to accommodate more law students? Because it's very, very important. Because if you're talking about the youth, we are the youth. We are the... Thank you.
Thank you, Her Excellency, incoming NDC Vice President. Thank you, all of you, for the opportunity. My names are Maxwell Koku Sutunu. A renowned NDC member from Central Tongu constituency of Volta region. My question has to do about the issue of teachers. There was some time ago a very huge amount of money was deducted from the teachers' money with the mind, teacher salary, with the mind to give them a laptop. As I'm speaking now, some of us did not have that laptop. In addition to that, our president, His Excellency Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo, told the whole world that as a teacher you cannot survive if you don't have any side work to do. And the reflection, everybody can test to it. Now, I want to ask the incoming NDC through our Excellency member, Vice President, what plan is NDC putting in place to take care of the teachers when they come in power? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please, I'm Esther Obeng, the uccsrc Secretary. My questions are mainly focused on the undergrads, because if we check, we can say 70% of the students here are undergrads and not graduate students. So please, my first question is there any research support for undergraduates? Is there any research support for undergraduates? Because we also embark on research and we spend a lot printing of questionnaires and everything. We also spend a lot. So I want to ask if there is any research support for us. And then secondly, please, what practical steps will be put in place for our research works after we are done with them, so that we will not see the research works on our corridors and shelves and other stuff? What practical steps are going to be put in place for us? Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Probus Bakonya Accra. A level 400 student reading geography and regional planning. The NDC is preaching the 24-hour economy, but it appears that in our 8-hour public institutions workspace, there is inefficiency and lack of productivity. How is the next NDC government going to ensure efficiency and productivity in the already existing 8-hour work system in public institutions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. I'm George Onga by name, an MPhil. Hello. Good evening once again. Onga by name. I'm George Onga by name, an MPhil accounting student, Amstead, and the Grasag financial secretary. Please, you mentioned there will be the cancellation of the teacher Lancashire exams when you comes into power, and it will be replaced with a quality assurance mechanism. I want you to expatiate more on what you mean by that, and then also your plan for infrastructure development for newly established universities if the NDC is to come to power. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. My name is Makafui Christopher. My first question I want to ask is, I'm a national service person. Yes, I'm a national service person. I want to ask concerning the nurses training and teachers allowance that the NDC government then known that it was abolished concerning the nurses training and teachers training allowance. So my question is, was it true that it was abolished? And if it was, what was the motive behind the abolishment? My second question is concerning our national service allowance. You know, when the MPP came into power, they did their best by making an increment on the allowance. My question is, if the NDC comes into power, what are they going to do to also increase this allowance? Because the 715 that we are taking now is too small. It's not really helping at all. Because you withdraw the money, within seconds it's finished. So my question is, if the NDC comes into power, are they going to also make an increment? If it can go even to 1,000 Ghana cedis, yes, we'll be glad. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you for those questions. Unfortunately, we are no more taking any questions. I'm sorry. But we would allow for the answers now. And ladies and gentlemen, also coming here is the Professor J. Nana Opokwajimai to answer these questions.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your questions. I think the questions have made the place even more lively. And I wish you could stay longer and take even more questions. Your first concern had to do with the legal, the students in the legal area, the lawyers. And what is it that, no, she started by saying that many governments had promised. I wanted her to specify which government promised what. We should stop the generalization. It is not helpful. We put it in our 2020 manifesto, what we would do. But you didn't vote for us. But let me again tell you what we were going to do. And I'll begin with the story of the law faculty, the law school at UCC itself. I was here when we started it. What were some of my plans? I knew then that Makola was choked. It was very clear from the number of students who qualified, who applied, and who were admitted. So I knew that my children were going to suffer. So what did I do? I engaged the then Chief Justice several times in her office. And what I wanted her to do, which she started doing, was to upgrade the courts. Because I was joking when I told her that, no, I want my students to go to Chapel Square and not to Makola. That we have some courts here. What do we need to raise those courts? To what level should they be so that students can be trained there? Instead of all of them crowding at Makola, we started the process. I left. And in our 2020 manifesto, seeing the problem was still persisting, we were going to set up the law schools, not centralize them in one place, but to decentralize them. Send them to many more places. Why should everybody go to Makola? But as I say, they are still in our manifesto. So it depends on you and I to bring that out, so the suffering will stop. Okay. The second, somebody wants to know why teachers got their monies deducted from their salaries for laptops and so on. Well, we didn't deduct your money. And we had no plans in our manifesto to deduct your money. What we did was to supply teachers free laptops. I was in the ministry and I know for a fact. We gave the laptops for free. And the laptops are not fanciful things. The laptops are supposed to aid teaching. So the question I ask myself is that if I'm a maths teacher and I'm having difficulty teaching differential equation, how does my laptop help me? So we found the schools that were doing well in maths. We found the teachers. We held workshops. We wanted to record the process in which they teach the subjects that our children avoid during WAEC. We did all that homework. And we isolated the questions the students will never touch. And we wanted to know why don't they touch them. Because what it means is that if in section A, there are 2 questions, 1 or 2, and your students never pick question 2, it means they don't have a choice. How are they going to pass? Assuming they don't like the first one. So that is why even in the schools, we put the laptops in trolleys, and we will put them in the headmaster's office. And we said, okay, just like the sports teacher may come for equipment, if the IT teacher needs to teach, let him come for the laptops, teach, and then send them back. So when we built the e-blocks and we put the science, we put the lab, the IT departments in, we also trained IT teachers. Not that you know how to turn on the computer so you can teach IT. That's not what this is about. You have to train them to know how to teach and to know how to teach for a purpose. So my friend, we will return to that again and we will push it forward when you all support us together. Somebody also wants to know how about undergraduate research and their support. You see, when we are setting up something like the National Research Fund, my thinking is that it's the research institutes that will apply for them. Universities are not glorified secondary schools, with all apologies. They are places where knowledge is generated, and the knowledge is generated through research. So if I'm the lead researcher, I can employ graduate students to work with me. That is how a lot of us went abroad, and we worked with professors who were the lead researchers. I can also look at my topic and realize that, oh, there are 3 undergraduates somewhere who can join my research team. That is how the research is built up. So it's not money for a few people just to get and share. That's not what it's about. So you see, and that being the case, the government will have a hand in the research that is done. It is done everywhere. Or the company, if the company decides I'm producing pure water, I need a lab that tells me the purity of the water every 3 months. I need researchers to do that for me. Then that is what it will be. And if the government approves, the government will allow that researcher to apply for the fund. If the government decides a sanitation, and you have the lead researchers, and you have your team of researchers, they are not always your peers. There will be a few who are your peers, but then because it's government money, government will be very interested that the lead researcher employs younger people. So the younger people will also learn. So he will use some of the research fund to pay the colleagues or to give them the support they need. In fact, they can sponsor whole graduate students for the entire duration of their studies on their funding. And that is what we try to do. So then it would also have gone down. That being the case, you cannot decide that, oh, that's what I want to do. That's also okay. But then you don't oblige somebody to fund that. If what we are hearing is true, that half the companies are fleeing Ghana, somebody wants to know why. What is going on? What is wrong? What can we do? Do we need them here? Should they go? If they leave, who will replace? Who is ready to replace? What do we do? It's all through research. And you need you need those who just go around and administer questionnaires. You'll need those who will analyze them. You'll need those who will contextualize them. You'll need those who will do the methodology. So many aspects of research that we need in order to get the findings that can truly affect policy if necessary. Yeah, somebody is also saying that there is inefficiency in productivity. I'm sure he's talking about the status of some of our SOEs and the difficulties they are facing. I think there are many issues, but I think a fundamental one will have to do with considering merit as critical in placing people. So I keep telling young people, learn all you can learn. Learn all you can learn. Make yourself as efficient as you can. That will open doors for you. Don't rush into positions that you are not ready for. That may not help you. So merit is important. And having appointed the person on merit, that's not enough. How about what is the person supposed to do? What are the KPIs? To whom does he report? How often must he do a report? You see, when you get a head who insists on that, some of us will say she's too known. Haven't you said that? Or her Jane Dodo. So those who don't want to her Jane, that's where we will end. How about accountability? To whom is that person accountable? How did you find the place and how are you leaving it? And I'm sure when we insist on some of these, as it is done everywhere, we may begin to see results. So please, as I said, learn all you can. And the licensure exam, what do we mean by the quality assurance? Actually, when I moved to the ministry, I was surprised to find that, at the tertiary level, we have the National Accreditation Board. And what does it do? It assures quality. And I was surprised to find that, so rather, the pre-tertiary level doesn't have like a body that takes care of that. There are other ways in which they do it, but I thought a body might be necessary. Then I found the Article 778, the 3 branches, and there was nothing about that. So when I saw the licensure exam, I asked myself, but I've also been on the academic board of NCTE. We assure quality. So what has gone wrong? What is it that we need to know? So if this has already been approved by Parliament, it's already there. I cannot go and change it. So how do we implement it? That is where I thought that the gap of quality assurance should be filled. And how do you fill it? I'm a teacher. It's a skill profession, like many. So if you sit me down for 6 hours and I write an exam, I don't think that's enough. I thought that one practical way would be, let's say I'm due for a promotion. What shows that I'm ready to be promoted? Why can't I get a team of maybe 3 to come and observe your teaching, to come and observe how you relate to your students, what homework you give them, what feedback they get, how you relate to your peers, how about your superiors? What makes you a complete teacher? And I thought that may be something that we can do periodically, not every year, maybe every 5 years or thereabouts, to fill in the gap of quality assurance. So that was one way we had. But again, many of you kept us on the back burner, so it didn't happen. I think I've answered all the questions now. Yeah, national service, whether they should get more money or not. I think that is a serious question. And it's a very important question. My response would be, let's say we print money and give it to you. How far will that take you? It won't take you anywhere. Would have satisfied your 1,000. What if we put our efforts into building a stronger economy, where even 200 means a lot? See? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman, for those answers. At this point, I would want to invite the Grasag National President and the Grasag National Executives to present a research report on the 24-hour economy to Prof. So, can I have all the Grasag National Executives here? I would humbly, respectfully, please go. Respectfully, I would like to invite Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman once again, ma'am, sorry, to receive the report.
So we conducted a research into the 24-hour economy, and as I indicated in my speech, Grasag National launched a policy research index this year, and our goal was to look into the political promises made by the political class. And our very first work was on the 24-hour economy, and this is the exclusive copy that we have to present to His Excellency Professor J. Nana Opoku-Agyeman. Thank you. On behalf of JDM.
Thank you very much, Grasag National, headed by Mr. Emmanuel Owusu, the National President. At this juncture, I would want to call Rafiu Ansah Sadat to do something shortly for me. And when that is done, I'll tell you what is next. Rafiu. Hold. Hey! I'm sure when I sleep today, I'll wake up saying, hey, my dreams.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening to us all. My job here is just to give a vote of thanks because the program is gradually coming to an end. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, fellow citizens, as we bring this program to a close, I want to express our heartfelt gratitude as Graduate Student Association of Ghana students to the entire people in this auditorium. Organizing this program hasn't been easy, but I would single one person out and say thank you to him. Dr. Peter Otukono. Please, let's give it up to him. when we conceived the idea, we didn't know how. But when we spoke to him, he showed us the way. A lot has been said here, and as students and as researchers, what we need to do is to reflect on the thought-provoking ideas and the policies presented here, just so we can take decisions come December 7th. We believe that as postgraduate students, it is not enough to leave our research on the shelf. It is not enough to say you are done with your master's or your PhD. There is the need to contribute to nation building. And that is what Grasag National has started. We believe that this program was organized just so we can interrogate policies from the various political parties. We are not ending here. We have done it. I said we have done it because the program is coming to a close. For the flag bearer for the National Democratic Congress, our next stop, I know my president won't be happy, but I would have to say it, will be in Kumasi, where we'll host another presidential candidate. This is not meant to favor any political party. This is to help the students to be able to take decisions based on data. Once again, thank you very much for coming. A special thank you to Grasag UCC for partnering Grasag National to organize this program. Team UCC, we are most grateful for your continuous support. We are most grateful to uccsrc. I thought that this is Grasag and there was nothing concerning them, but they've been very, very instrumental in organizing this program. To our NDC regional executives, we are most grateful for the support so far. We have tertiary students here, CCTU, NMTC, and the likes. We are so much grateful for making time to be with us here. I was very happy when I saw the SHS students here, because personally I served them the letter and I was following up with so many calls. I didn't get any feedback, but thanks to God, they came without even the feedback. To our media partners, we say thank you very, very much. And to you, that wonderful person, the most important person, the audience. To our invited guests and uninvited guests, we say we thank you very much. Tomorrow, if you hear the cock crow, know that it's Grasag National that is extending its appreciation for your attendance to this program. But if you do not hear the cock crow, it means you may have enjoyed this program that you will still be sleeping by then. Thank you very much, and may God bless us all.
And thank you. My name is Daniel Lati. I have been your moderator. At this point, I would want to invite the officials, Grasag national officials, and of course, the high table dignitaries, special guest of honor, to come forward as we have a group photograph.
Please do not leave. After the program, the running mate, Professor Jenano Popajman, would have to take leave of us before any other person steps out. Please, with all due respect, respectfully, it's to them. We call Hamza Haruna come and give out the closing prayer. Grasag National Vice President Hamza Haruna.